Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's been staying warm out there and has been enjoying the holiday season so far, as it has been a very cold start to the holiday season, and I'm thinking by Christmas time we could be coming in on a slight warm up, but of course we'll get into that here in a little bit. As you can see here, we're dealing with anything from atmospheric rivers to some winter weather and even an ice storm here in northern South Dakota. So let's go ahead and get into the winter storm and then we'll get into the atmospheric river. As you can see here, it's expected to subside today, but of course lingering effects like major river flooding and landslides will continue for the next several days up here in western Washington and northwest Oregon. And it's also going to be some Arctic air that will drop it down into the single digits by Friday, and of course will extend potentially into Monday morning, which will result in some happy kiddos, as there could be some school closures and delays by Monday, and there also could be some school closures and delays by Friday morning as well. And go ahead and get into the weather models here. So we take a look at the NAM 12 kilometer. This takes us all the way out through Sunday morning. And as I push this forward, we can see that we're going to be dealing with some heavy snowfall tonight due to an Alberta Clipper. And then this is going to be moving eastward, getting out of our hair, and going to be dumping a lot of snowfall over West Virginia mountains. And there's also going to be a lot of snowfall up here in western Michigan and parts of Wisconsin as well. And then our next Clipper system is supposed to be rolling through by Saturday evening and lasting all the way through Sunday morning. And then it's going to be getting out of our hair and heading off into the northeast as we head into Sunday evening and potentially into Monday morning, which could result in some school closures and delays. Now, of course, as I rewind this, the first system is pretty much set in stone by now. This area right here is going to be getting in on the most snowfall, which we'll get into who will get the most snowfall here in a little bit. Now, the second Clipper system is to be determined. Some model runs have been showing this heading further south. Some model runs have been showing it heading further north. It just depends. And of course, whoever gets in on snow will get in on the most snowfall, obviously. So let's go ahead and take a look at the National Weather Service snow totals. As you can see here, right around, I would say 5 to 10 inches here in central and northern Illinois, central and southern Indiana, and southwest Ohio. And of course, surrounding that, right around 2 to 4 inches. And of course, up here in the northeast, right around a foot of snowfall here near Lake Erie and Buffalo area, and right around up here in upstate New York. So let's go ahead and zoom in here, and I'll show you a zoomed in picture of this. We can see right around 5 to 10 inches here in Indiana and Illinois and southern Ohio. But of course, this will change, and really you should trust this model. This is what your local meteorologist uses. It's the National Weather Service model, so definitely rely on this. And if we do get in on this much snowfall through Sunday morning, I will be out back here at the Winds Weather headquarters showing you the conditions as we get in on some significant snowfall. Now, of course, I'm not the only one saying it either. The National Weather Service is saying that through Friday morning, we are going to be coming in on roughly 1 to 4 inches of snowfall here in the Ohio Valley, as a fast-moving Alberta Clipper will bring a swath of accumulating snowfall through the area from this evening through Friday morning. So there's going to be some school closures and delays potentially, and some happy kiddos tomorrow morning. And of course, areas are going to be seeing 1 to 4 inches of snowfall, with locally higher amounts possible of upwards up to 5 inches north of I-64. And of course, the most impactful snowfall will occur between 7 o'clock tonight through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, but mostly we'll be missing the evening and morning commutes though. And of course, lower confidence exists within this red circle. So now that we know we're going to be dealing with some significant snowfall from tonight through Sunday morning, let's go ahead and get into those temperatures. And we're going to stick with the National Weather Service model here. This is what your local meteorologist uses, as well as what you see on your weather apps as well. You can see, and let's actually zoom out here. Zoom out here in the eastern part of the country. We can see that tonight the temperatures are just going to be dropping off a cliff, and especially dropping off a cliff as we head into Saturday morning. See down into the negatives here from the upper Midwest down here into parts of Indiana, and I'm not going to be getting any relief for quite some time. We might get some relief by Tuesday, but still, we're not going to be coming out of those below freezing temperatures for at least up until probably Tuesday or Wednesday. So definitely prepare for the cold and prepare for the snow through Monday, because I'm going ahead and issuing a freezing my butt off warning for pretty much this whole entire area here. And of course, a bread and milk warning as well. Now, of course, this is not to scale. Keep this in mind. But if you are within the pink zone, please get out there and get what you need now before the stores are all raided, because I'm sure people are already out there grabbing all the essentials and preparing for this upcoming big snowstorm. And I forgot to cover the snowfall up by Montana and down here by South Dakota. Looks like within the winter storm warning areas, roughly right around 5 to 10 inches up there as well. And of course, northern South Dakota is also going to be coming in on an ice storm. So let's go and take a look at the freezing rain totals. Looks like upwards of roughly 0.04 inches. Some areas could come in on roughly 0.02. So really any sort of icing out there is not good. So definitely be aware of that and grab some supplies just in case the power goes out down there. So before we get into the next couple of weeks of what we could expect, let's go and take a look at that atmospheric river that occurred out in the northwest. You can see that past 168 hours as far as precipitation goes, roughly 5 inches of heavy rainfall fell out there by Washington and Oregon, and even out here by Idaho as well. We take a look at the snowfall that occurred. You can see also a lot of snowfall in northern Washington and even out here in western Montana. So looks like we could be getting a little bit of a break here, at least according to the National Weather Service, for the next couple of days anyway from this atmospheric river. But I'm thinking we could be coming in on that here as we head into next week. And why am I thinking that? Well, as we take a look at the risk of heavy precipitation according to the Climate Prediction Center, they're showing us that there's a high risk of heavy precipitation as we head into the first day of winter here out in the west coast of California and Oregon, with of course a moderate and slight risk surrounding that. And on top of the heavy rainfall is also going to be a lot of snowfall as well, as there's a moderate risk for snowfall here out in the west coast as well as the Rockies and a little bit of the Central Plains as well, all the way through the first day of winter and into Christmas Eve. So there could be a white Christmas out here in the Central Plains. So let's go ahead and get into what we could expect for the next couple of weeks. And to do so, we're going to have to take a look at the GFS. Now keep in mind that anything over a week out is virtually impossible to forecast, so please take this forecast with a grain of salt as we cannot predict the future. And of course, we already know about this snowstorm that's affecting states from Montana down into Kentucky through Sunday morning and into potentially through Monday morning. So there's going to be some school closures and delays and some happy kiddos on Monday morning and potentially Friday morning as well. And once we head into Sunday evening and into Monday, you can see there's going to be some lingering lake effect snow here in the northeast and some snow showers up here in northern Michigan, as well as some heavy rainfall in the northwest. But overall, it's looking like much of the country is going to remain relatively dry to start off next week. But it's looking like as we head into the middle of next week, we could be coming in on more heavy rainfall and snowfall and just dreary conditions here in the Mountain West and to the Northwest. Watch as we head into next weekend. It's looking like we could be coming in on some very dreary conditions from Texas into New York, with some heavy snowfall occurring potentially here for the very far northern parts of the Northeast, as well as some very heavy snowfall here along the Rocky Mountains into the West Coast, with some potential atmospheric river-like conditions up there. Now, of course, we are heading into almost 300 hours out, sort of la-la land when it comes to the models, but once we move past the first day of winter and into Christmas time, it's looking like we could have another active weather pattern setting up with some severe weather down here in the Mid-South and a potential blizzard up here in the northern plains with an ice storm setting up here along Wisconsin, Minnesota, and parts of Iowa. Now, of course, this is subject to change, so please take this with a grain of salt, as this may not even happen at all. This is the end of this model run, but if it does happen, then it's looking like we could have some severe weather setting up here in the Mid-South, down here from Missouri down into Oklahoma and Illinois. An ice storm setting up here up by Wisconsin and parts of Iowa and Minnesota, and a blizzard setting up in the northern plains. But of course, this will change between now and then. This might not even happen, as this is well over 300 some hours out. So I will be definitely keeping my eye on this And if it does happen, then it's definitely to be determined as to where the snow and ice line will set up, where the severe weather will set up, and where this blizzard will set up. But of course, like I keep saying, this will change between now and then, so please take this with a grain of salt. This may not even happen in the first place, so don't panic just yet. So basically, as I rewind this, we're going to be coming in on a big snowstorm here from Montana down into Kentucky through Monday morning. Then we're going to be dealing with some lake effect snow up here in the northeast, as well as some snow showers up here by Michigan and Wisconsin, and some heavy rainfall out in the northwest. But overall, looks like much of the country is going to be pretty dry to start off the week next week. But then as we head into the middle and end of next week, could be coming in on an active weather pattern with an atmospheric river occurring out west, which is going to be resulting in some very dreary conditions with some rain and snow occurring out there. And this is also going to be leading the way to some very dreary conditions here from Texas into New York, with some heavy snowfall occurring up in the northeast, and even more of an active weather pattern setting up out west, with some heavy snowfall occurring up here in the Rockies. And then another concerning storm system could be setting up as we head past Christmas time, which could result in severe weather, an ice storm, and a potential blizzard. But of course, please take this with a grain of salt, as this will change between now and then, and this may not even happen in the first place. So, before we get into the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlooks, let's go ahead and take a look who will get in on the most snowfall. Now we can see who's coming in on the jackpot of snowfall, mainly the Northwest and Rockies. Y'all always come in on the jackpot of snowfall this time of year, but you can see Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, it's looking like y'all are coming in on the jackpot of snow for the next couple of weeks, as well as up here by Montana and the Northeast. So it's looking like more states are coming in on more snowfall, and that could result in a white Christmas, which in the next video I will be covering that. As far as precipitation goes, of course, majority of this precipitation is going to be snowfall, so please take this with a grain of salt. But it's looking like the West Coast is going to be coming in on the most rainfall, as well as up here in the Northwest and really much of the Rockies. But really much of the eastern part of the country mainly is going to be snowfall, except for down here in the South and Gulf Coast. And as we take a look at the West Coast and zoom in here, we can see roughly 5 inches. Some areas getting in almost 6 inches. So roughly 3 to 6 inches of heavy rainfall out there. That's why they issued the high risk that they did. Heavy precipitation in the West Coast. So definitely be aware of this if you live out there. Could come in on a lot of precipitation in the next couple of weeks out there, as well as a lot of snowfall here in the northern half of the country. So what does the experts at the Climate Prediction Center have to say? Well, they're showing us that the Northwest is going to be coming in on above average precipitation, as well as up here in the Northeast, but it's looking like the Southeast, Southwest, and a little bit of the central part of the country is going to be coming in on well below average precipitation. Next 8 to 14 days, as we head into Christmas Eve, it's looking like the northern half of the country is going to be above average, while the southern half of the country is going to be a little bit below average. So looking like the Northwest could be getting a break from the atmospheric river for a couple days before coming back into the atmospheric river. That's why the Climate Prediction Center has issued an above average precipitation out there for the next couple of weeks anyway. The southern half of the country is looking to be relatively dry though. I would be in agreement with this, although it's looking like as we head into next weekend, could potentially come in on some heavy precipitation from Texas into New York, but I don't think it's going to be resulting in much precipitation leading up into Christmas Eve. But of course here in the upper Midwest into the Ohio Valley and Northeast, I think we're going to be getting slammed with a lot of heavy snowfall between the 18th and 24th time frame, with another active weather pattern setting up once we move past Christmas time. So what about Christmas time? Well, I know I did move past that relatively quickly, and I sort of apologize for that. Let's go back to it. Now on Christmas morning, we can see that could be a white Christmas here in the Rockies, but unfortunately it's looking like from Texas up here into the Northeast, it's not going to be a white Christmas in this area. Unfortunately, I think it will be too warm. As you can see, it's going to be raining in this area, but of course this will change, and I will have a white Christmas forecast up. I think probably next week sometime, and I will have a year in review video up, most likely on Christmas, so definitely going to be a Christmas treat for y'all. So look forward to that, and look forward to the Christmas Outlook video, which will be uploaded probably by next weekend, I would say. I'll let y'all know though. But on to the temperatures of what we could expect, as the Climate Prediction Center has issued a slight risk for that of bitterly cold air from the 19th through the 22nd. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now I did say at the beginning of the video that we could be coming in on a warm Christmas, which was sort of shown shown on the precipitation map that we're going to be dealing with some rainfall from Texas into New York, so we could be dealing with a warmer than normal Christmas. But let's go and take a look at the next couple of weeks here. We can see through Monday we're going to be falling off a cliff as far as temperatures go. Really, unless you live here in the central part of the country, you're going to be dealing with some 70-degree temperatures here in Nebraska, which is why we're going to be dealing with an ice storm here in South Dakota. But so we take a look all the way through Monday, we're going to be just falling off a cliff. Polar vortex coming down, dropping those temperatures down into the negatives. Going to be falling off a cliff for at least through that time frame anyway. But watch as we head past Monday, we are going to be dealing with some very, very warm temperatures. You can see the 70s starting to creep in here. And we're going to be dealing with some 70-degree temperatures up here in Indiana by the time we head into next Friday. And some 80s down here in Texas as we head into next weekend. So very exciting. Get out there and enjoy these nice temperatures. It's going to be definitely a relief from that negative air we're going to be feeling for the next few days. But don't get used to it though. I think we're going to be dealing with another round of cold air before Christmas time, before we're going to be coming back into that warm air by the time we head into Christmas time. So if you do some family get-togethers here on Christmas Eve, it's looking to be pretty warm out there, and you might be able to grill out as well. So get out there and enjoy these nice temperatures. It won't be feeling like Christmas though on Christmas, but it's going to be pretty nice out there here out east. But unfortunately, it's looking like the western part of the country into the northern plains is going to be bitterly cold though. So y'all are going to be jealous of us here on Christmas, but it's going to be feeling like Christmas out there though, while it's not feeling like Christmas out here, unfortunately. But it's looking like that warm air is going to be sticking around though. And that warm air is going to be creeping up here into Canada as we head into and past Christmas time. And this is right around that time frame we're supposed to be coming in on another system, which could bring severe weather to parts of Missouri and Oklahoma, and a blizzard and an ice storm here in the northern plains and here in the Midwest. And you can see that polar vortex coming in on the backside of it. So it's looking like we could have a roller coaster ride as far as the weather goes here for the next couple of weeks, as we're going to be dealing with some bitterly cold air, and then we're going to be dealing with some very warm air as we head into Christmas time. And then it's looking like we're going to be back into those bitterly cold temperatures as we head into the new year. So what's the Climate Prediction Center have to say? Well, they're showing us that we're going to be heading into an above average temperature pattern, which I would be in agreement with. I think once we move past Monday, I think those temperatures are going to start to climb as we inch closer to Christmas time. And once we move into Christmas Eve, it's looking like the whole entire country is going to be above average except for the northern plains, which I think by Christmas time out here in the western part of the country into the northern plains, I think it's going to be a little bit colder than normal. I think it's going to be feeling more like Christmas out there, while the eastern part of the country, it's going to be a little bit warmer than normal. So in summary here, basically what am I expecting for the next couple of weeks is basically I think we're going to be getting a break from the atmospheric river for the next couple of days here in the northwest and west central part of the country, but it's looking like we could be dealing with a wintry mess here from Montana down into eastern Kentucky through Monday. Then we're going to be getting a little bit of a break here. It's going to be relatively quiet amongst much of the lower 48 as we head into the start of next week. Could come in on lake effect snow in the northeast and some snow showers in parts of Michigan and Wisconsin, and a lot of heavy rainfall in the northwest. But watch as we head into late next week, we could come back into an atmospheric river here in the northwest and west central part of the country, as there's been a high risk of heavy precipitation all the way through the first day of winter here in the west coast of California and Oregon. And we could come in on some very dreary conditions here from Texas into the northeast with some heavy snowfall in the northeast by next weekend. And we could come in on a mess of a system here in the west coast, which could bring a lot of snowfall and rainfall out there by the Rockies and west coast. By the time we head into and past Christmas time, we could come in on another active weather pattern, which could bring severe weather, an ice storm, and a blizzard potentially here to the central and eastern part of the country. But of course, this is subject to change, so please take this with a grain of salt. This may not even happen in the first place. As far as temperatures go, I think we're going to be falling off a cliff as we head into Monday, at least here in the eastern part of the country. We're going to be relatively warm here in the southwest into the central part of the country. But as we head past Monday, I think we're going to be coming back into a warm-up slightly as we inch closer and closer into Christmas time. You can see 70s inching as far north as Indiana and especially as far north as Canada. But I think this warm air is going to be getting knocked out again. We're coming back into some bitterly cold air as we head into December 22nd, but then coming back into some warm air as we head into Christmas here out east, while the western part of the country is going to be dealing with some very frigid air. It's going to be feeling more like Christmas out there, while it's going to be feeling more like summertime here out east. And then I think we're going to be coming in on our next system by the time we head past Christmas time, which could result in severe weather, ice storms, and blizzards, and another polar vortex as we head into the end of the month. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as any feedback helps providing you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, because at Here One's Weather we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And I also have a Rumble channel if you want to go check it out as well. It's WMBWX98. I'd greatly appreciate it if you go follow that channel as well. So it's looking like we could have a roller coaster ride as far as the weather goes for the next couple of weeks, so buckle up y'all. But enjoy the holiday season, as I will have my Christmas outlook up probably by next weekend. I'll let y'all know though, and I will have a year-end review video up by Christmas time. It may be a Christmas treat for y'all. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all for watching. Christmas is getting closer, y'all, and until next time, never stop forecasting.